Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. This is one thing I had a hard time coming to an understanding on who's the victim. A lot of us take this guilt on and we look back, we ruminate, we try to fix things or undo and see what went wrong. And I read something where it was like, if you're a victim of narcissistic abuse, or if you're involved in it, you're the victim. The receiver of the emotional abuse is the victim. So a lot of times these relationships can last quite a long time, sometimes decades. And we see the things that we've done. But we have to remember, were we reacting or were we cold and callous? Because I just got done doing a video that kind of stimulated this topic is if you punch me in the face, and I have to protect myself to punch you back. I hit you, I hurt you. We shouldn't get physical. But if it was in that situation, we're allowed to defend ourselves. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing. Try not to get physical. It can a lot of times get out of hand. I used to fight with my brother, play fight, and I'd punch him once and he'd come back 1,000 times harder. And it was like play fighting, but sometimes you don't know what's going to happen afterwards. So try not to get physical, but we're reacting to something. Would we have punched him in the face just out of the blue? What started the arguments? There's things that we go through too. And it's like a defense mechanism. We're not these cold, callous people. We're trying to make things better. We get shot down when we do that. And it's also almost like we start to get into survival mode. And this is where it gets tricky though, is we are a victim, but if you're punching me and punching me and I have a way to escape, that's the safest thing to do. And then that's why no contact is important, because next time I come close to this person, the abuse is going to happen again, most likely. Might not for a while, but eventually something's gonna, the person's able to just abuse you, they can do it again, and where's your trust level? Can you let your guard down? So that's like returning to a narcissistic relationship, because some of us are hurting so bad that we're craving our abuser. And I keep saying my degree's in criminal justice, but you can protect yourself. You can kill somebody to protect yourself if it's a life or death situation. But as soon as they turn away, even if they were beating you, strangling you, horrendous to you, but if they turn away, you cannot shoot them then, no matter how bad what they just did to you was. If they are leaving, and it's kind of crazy because you could be near death, but if they're still coming at you, but if they turn away, you in the law, you have no recourse. So when we're dealing with our narcissists, I talked about in that video, revenge. If they're calming down and there's a lax period, that's your time to leave, not to put revenge on them, because they're going to come right back, just like my brother did, and come at you so much harder, and it's going to devastate you more. So if you're in the middle of a quarrel or whatever, you're defending yourself. But when things calm down, you can either repeat the cycle. It was kind of sad. I had a classmate for criminal justice where she had stayed to have that situation where she could kill him. And it's the craziest thing. I never knew what ended up happening. But you get that trauma bonded, that angry, that you want the revenge. You feel helpless, like maybe you don't have the finances, maybe you don't have anywhere to turn, or you're too embarrassed to tell your family members. But she was like serious. She was not joking. And that's how messed up sometimes our minds can get. There's homeless shelters or domestic violence housing. There are resources out there. Do some research on that. I'll try to get some resources for you guys too. Feel free to ask. I can delve into that. But, when we stay in these abusive relationships, we are the victim, but we start doing reactive abuse. and be careful on that. I don't want you guys getting assault charges. If you get ticked off, pop some tires or scratch with some keys, scratch some cars. Now you got vandalism, especially if you have children. You don't want that on your record. Narcissists lie. So even if you're in the right, you're in a bad situation. Narcissists, they'll punch themselves in the face. They'll hurt themselves to say that you attacked them. So just be real cautious on that you don't get a criminal record because of a lie. Narcissists are really good at lying. They think things through and keep it in their arsenal for when they need it. They're calculating, they're master manipulators. Their only focus is them. So when they're in a bad situation, no holds barred. They'll do whatever it takes to preserve their own self. They're not going to think about you or the kids. Just like that Gabby Petito case. That drives me insane. It was so sad. And it's almost like you think it was a bad situation, but I wonder if they did not stop her that day, if she would still be alive, because he was probably so infuriated, embarrassed, lost control of it, that he killed her. These people were engaged to get married. Narcissists are self-preservation monsters. She was trying to protect him. A lot of times that's what happens is we try to protect our abuser. We try to make up excuses or minimize what's going on. I don't know behind closed doors what really happened, because, on social media, they seem so happy. If you're thinking about the new supply, they were engaged. And they look so happy, cartwheels and kisses and feeding each other and camping and a trip of a lifetime. And they're both dead now. So the victim is the person at the first sign of attack. And you don't see in court cases the attacker, if you did it in self-defense, you're not the one at fault. It's like mitigating circumstances. There's times, but if you do it after they leave, if they're punching me in the face and tomorrow I punch them, that's not self-defense. So sometimes we are abusive. But if you are taking this and defending yourself, you're a victim. If it goes beyond that and you're planning revenge to hurt your narcissist, that's when you're picking up these narcissistic traits. That's when you're becoming an abuser. So be aware of that. And I know it hurts, and I know we're angry. A lot of us lost everything we invested into, and that can cause some anger, some hurt. But take a step back. Don't give that narcissist that power to change you. You're not an abusive person. You're an angry person. But stay true to yourself, and start the healing process. Don't let it fester and stew inside you and change your soul. Don't make it to where you have an evilness about you now. Try to set all that free. That's hard to do. But once you set that free, it's easier to move into a healthy relationship. Give yourself time to grieve and heal and get back to who you are. Get rid of some of that anger. Exercise is a great way to do that. Scream into your pillow if you need to. But look at the big picture on what will bring a better health to you. Being vengeful is just going to cause a snowball of events, and the narcissists play dirty. And I don't want you guys getting wrapped up in criminal things that can go on your permanent record. Change whether you can vote. If you have a they might have changed it now, but I went to law school when I did. felons weren't allowed to vote. You might be able to now, I'm not sure. Travel to other countries. There's restrictions. And just be aware that this person's already taken so much of your life. Don't let them take that away from you either. So big hugs to you, and the future gets better. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. One-on-ones are available, and I'll talk to you soon.